How long ago was this written?
92.
1992. And it's a rare edition, isn't it?
Rare. A rare edition?
I think
It
so.
is a rare edition. It happens to be my friend's book.
How's that?
I don't have a copy of my own. That makes it rare.
Although I have records like that and stuff.
See? The inside. See?
Uh-huh.
His name is Chip, so I wrote, Dear Chip, you can take the country boy out of the country, but you can't take New York out of the New Yorker.
There we are.
With love, from heart to heart, Sharan. Great friend.
That's terrific. So
He was on Maui for about 12 years.
yeah?
Yeah.
And now?
In New York City and Woodstock.
So I think would be a great thing. Why don't we go sit over near the fire?
Come here for a second.
Oh, okay.
This collection of poetry and short narrative by Sharan Levine recounts his remarkable journey from rags to richness, compulsive gambling to drug abuse, and eventually insanity. Sharan's poetry, sometimes sad, sometimes funny, always real and compelling, touches the very heart of life itself with his simple truths and penetrating insights into the human condition. Sharan's words illuminate the struggle of the human spirit to free itself of worldly success so that he may discover true happiness and peace. By sharing with us his own difficult journey, Sharan not only offers us a look at a man who spent 7.5 years in mental institutions and survived to gain a profound understanding of himself and his place in this world, but also gives us strength to seek the path with heart in our own lives, wherever it may take us. From insanity to sanity and beyond. Tales from the Heart by Sharan Levine. Well, this is a real treat for us. We're happy to bring Sharan to you here on Dreammakers Mama Presents. You know those guys?
That's it. You're used to this.
Well, after a while you say,
It's a piece of cake.
I'm the camera guy and I'm in it. I hope it's good.
Soon they'll pay you.
Soon they'll pay me. Well, that's why this is the end of an era and the beginning of a new era. Why don't we set up and we'll have a conversation. Aloha.
Yeah.
$2,000.
Right.
So he said to me, and he asked me when I'm going to pay him back. So I told him in 3 weeks when I get home.
That's what you told him?
And unfortunately, things got more hectic, and I had to take the rest of the money I had to survive.
Right.
And what happened was when I got to New York, I couldn't pay him back for $1,500.
So he understood.
No, he didn't understand. He said to me that I'm a man of my word. When I say I'm going to pay somebody, you pay them. And you're not paying me the $1,500 you owe me. I said, Jules, you know me for many, many years. I've never not lived up to my word. However, this was extenuating circumstances. The money was spent, I don't have the money to pay you, and I will pay you. And he got very angry at me. Anyway, what I did was, went to the post office and I made out a 1 penny money order.
1 penny?
Yeah, for 1 cent. And I sent it to him.
Uh-huh.
And I said, at least I'm making my first payment.
Did he like that?
Well, I'm sure he might have laughed, but I don't know if he liked it.
You didn't receive the applause.
The next week,
Uh-huh.
I sent him a $10 money order, and I said, at least I'm doing better. Okay? And the next week, I sent him a $20 money order, and I said, things are improving.
He loved this.
And then I sent him $10. I told him to have breakfast, a good breakfast on me. And then I sent him $10 in about September, and I said, I want you to buy yourself a pastrami sandwich and a diet soda, a celery, you know, the diet
Of
soda.
course.
And leave a nice tip, and if you have any change left over, please call me. That's where I am with my friend Jules. Now, I want you to know, my friend Jules, I know him since he's 6.
Oh.
And he parlayed his money into many millions and millions of dollars, renting apartments and then buying co-ops and converting them to sell,
Oh.
and lending, and a money lender.
Those
A
are-
legitimate money lender.
Of course.
And he never lost a penny lending money, because whatever he gave to the account, he had in collateral back,
Of course.
and more. So it was never a loss. And that's Jules. He has...
So obviously when he gave the money to you, he knew he had real collateral. He had you.
Yeah. And I disappointed him.
No. He has real collateral. Because he never makes a loan without taking first. So, he has something of yours. Go ask him for it.
Well, that's Jules. I just want you to know. Jules has a Rolls Royce in his driveway, a Ferrari,
In his driveway?
a Jaguar, my old Mercedes-Benz 450 SL that I had to give him when I dropped out because I couldn't keep the payments up. And he has another car, I don't know.
Do they all fit at his house?
Yeah, I mean,
Where's his house? On the island somewhere?
Roslyn, New York.
I used to live in Roslyn.
Yeah?
Yeah, New Hyde Park, right there.
Yeah, it's close. I lived in Great Neck,
I know. We were neighbors. Manhasset Hills.
next town.
Is that where you did business and stuff?
No,
Mostly? No.
New York City.
Hang on.
You know what was great about Great Neck,
What's that?
Jason? There was a 23-minute train
Yeah?
that went from Great Neck Express right into the city.
Right.
Okay? 23 minutes, right? The train station was 33rd and 7th Avenue. My office was 34th between 6th and 7th.
Uh-huh.
So I would drive my car every morning from my house and park it at the train station, get a then come back at night and have a $5 ticket. Get in my car, drive back home, and I was in work from door to door in less than 30 minutes. Good.
So for that $5, you had a time saver. A
Yeah.
good time saver.
Well, at first they weren't ticketing, and then they ticketed me, and then they started to double ticket.
Double ticket?
Yeah, expire, and then you can get another ticket if you.
Oh,
Used to-
yeah, I've seen
I used
cars
to get 2
with
tickets.
Two in 1
4,
day.
5 tickets on them before.
Oh,
New
because
York.
it's an hour meter
Yeah.
or whatever the heck it is.
Or, you know, if they haven't told you
Uh-huh.
away by then.
That's it.
Who knows what the sound is like, but
Right.
we speak up. Tradition. Okay, we'll sing to that later. Okay.
You should look in the camera, they told me, as you speak to you, and look in the camera. Hi.
No, we didn't put a microphone here. We thought a little bit of natural. We're sitting here. We traveled all over the island to find a spot that would be cool, refreshing, and comfortable When you speak with the king, you come to the king's castle. Today we created a rainstorm so that we would be able to do this intimately here in the house. Huh? Right before Hanukkah.
Wow. Hanukkah's when, the 19th?
Is it the 19th?
I'm not sure. My birthday's the 20th.
Oh, you're in perfect stride.
Yeah, I'll be 60.
Nah.
Yeah.
60.
60 years old.
It seems like just yesterday, you know, we were going through all the things in our life, changing, growing. I'm gonna check the camera just to see how it's doing. You see, this is a very small production company. I'm here with you, and I'm up there. Watch.
You're going to be a success, Jace.
Oh, I see that.
I know you're going to do well.
Well, we're proving it. We're proving it right now. The proof is in the eating.
The proof is in the pudding. That's what they told me, not in the
But
eating.
the eating of the pudding. You see, what's most important is you say you get into your birthday, you're 60. The 60 that you've spent, you know, when your book, you have your book handy? We put it over here. Have you seen this book? We showed it to you earlier. We're going to look at it again. Here's the book. From Insanity to Sanity and Beyond. Tales from the Heart by Sharan Levine. Now you smile.
Now I see. You get everybody laughing.
Well, you know.
That's what makes you a good talk show host, because you just relax when they're with you.
Oh, thank you. You know, all I hope to do is create an environment here that's natural, where you feel comfortable. We have 3 of us in the room. This guy has a very big nose, and he listens like real hard. He doesn't talk much. And if we have someone behind there, they can move in and out. But the real juice of the lemon is right here. It's right here. And if we're
It's not
here,
the proof of the pudding.
no, that's
not the proof.
pudding is not always good. You have to eat it, and if you eat it,
What if you like chocolate pudding?
we have chocolate pudding.
It's chocolate.
We could do a little swirl.
Ursula's daughter asked me what kind of cake I like for my birthday.
What kind of cake do you like?
I couldn't think of any cakes that I like because I like them all. But then the realization set in. Apple pie, homemade, with vanilla ice cream. That's good.
It's good, but you didn't have any chocolate. Chocolate pudding too?
Well, that'll be the proof.
That's right. I thought it was 86 proof.
86 proof.
Is that in here? This is 86 proof. Is this a limited edition? Now, if you don't have one, it's that
It's
limited.
very limited.
I
You know, I just wrote my daughter yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that my book is in the Rajneesh Pune ashram?
It is.
In his library. They asked me if they could put it in. And I was very thrilled because Rajneesh has one of the rarest libraries in the world. Very old books. And for me to be in his library was most exciting for me.
I'm sure it was. And you know, you've been a student, like you talk about, or you don't talk about, but was talked about here in the back, where you have gone beyond sanity.
I don't know what that means.
It's
I
great
wrote
to
it, but I
have
don't know.
definition. No, the definition of non-definition, from insanity to sanity and beyond. That means you know what balance is.
I would like to share a story with you.
Sure, please.
About a year ago, I was in Maui, and I saw this little boy who was 7, who I hadn't seen in a year. And I asked him how he was doing, and he said to me, "Perfect." I said, "Perfect? Way out, man. That's the best." And then I continued to walk to Rodeo General. And the woman at the cashier said to me, "Sharan, I just read your book. And what does beyond mean?" And I said, "You know, I never really knew what beyond meant, except for the fact that a little boy just told me everything is perfect. And that is what I really think is beyond. Everything is perfect."
can you speak after that? I guess I'm beyond. Is that like way out?
Yeah.
Different, you know.
Sometimes it doesn't feel perfect, but it is perfect. And then I go back to the perfect.
So what
So
is perfection?
Um,
Everyone's perfection is their own perfection? Or it all is one perfection? Is there definition or no
I
definition?
think when the desires drop and you're not attached to the desire, then what's the problem?
Desires drop and you're not attached to desire. That is perfect.
And whatever comes is just beautiful. But sometimes the mind takes us to the attachment.
And
then
is this
desire-
world based on that? I think
I
a lot
think
of our
so.
world is based on that.
I know it
Our
is.
society that drives forward based on projections instead of just being. It's a different world. That's why definitions are so challenging. Because, like, may I read one of your poems? I'm just going to pick one randomly. I just happened to open. Is that a good one to read? Money?
I like them all myself.
I knew you did.
I always think that
I'm
each
gonna-
one is the best.
I'm going to take just a moment and move the curtain back to get a little more light on us. I feel a smile.
You feel a what?
You see, you feel like a smile?
A smile?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
How many of these you do, Jason?
How many what?
Interviews, thousands, hundreds.
No, not at all. Actually, fact is, I don't do many of these. Fact is, Sharan, I don't do many of these. I have done many interviews, different people, different circumstances, but in-house, this kind of level of just relaxation.
It's your first one. You got to start somewhere, Jason. That's what I
You know,
always say.
Ariel said to me, you know, I've made this rule. I'm not going to do any more shows unless they serve me. I've been getting all kinds of things out there, haven't been paid. So be it. It's public television. But the more visible I've gotten, the less visible that I do mortgages and I do solar and that the things that help me sustain. So I figured it's time for me to use my celebrity status, the green and all the rest of this, to have people understand who and what I am and only do shows about me. So I'm going to be singing and dancing.
What do you think this show could do for you, Jason?
Nothing. This is my chance to come on and promote me.
What do you mean nothing?
What, you mean the
You
show
mean
with
you're
you?
nothing?
Well, no. I think that the show, when I sit here with you, this is an outtake. You'll find. The control of the saw. The show with you gives me a feeling like I've delivered to Maui a look at somebody who has gone through an experience and come to a point where he doesn't need to acquire, he doesn't need to prove anything. It's just being. And your wit and your style is something that I've always appreciated, and I'd like to share that. And this book, I remember when Nick Alananda gave me his copy, and I
He
read
still
that.
wants his book.
You never gave him his book back? You never gave him the
He told me you took the book, but I didn't tell him you took the book and gave it to me.
You
So
didn't
he
tell
wants
him.
the book from you.
Well, he'll get it.
Oh, he'll get it all right.
He'll get it. He always gets it.
So better late than never.
Yeah. Well, he likes sharing this book. Money.
By the way, this is another extremely rich friend.
You have. Oh.
I have rich friends.
He has rich friends. You do. But that's what life is, You don't judge them. Do you
I
think
used
less
to
of
ju-
them because
I
they have
used to-
money?
I used to yell at them for acquiring all of this money and not giving it to me.
I see. But now, have they given it to you? Would you felt differently about them?
Sometimes they do. But this is a funny poem
I'm
about
gonna read
this.
I have a good friend named Bob, who has a huge amount of money, who is also very funny. Whenever I asked him for money, he would hang up on me. I decided that this was wasting my money. So I started to use the word
Boop.
boop. Now he does not hang up on me, so it has not cost me money, but he still won't give me any money.
All right. It was funny at the moment.
You know what's so funny? You have so many poems here. Are these numbered? The numbers just come randomly? The chapters?
There's an index that has the content of the poem.
Oh, look at this. Wow. How did these get accumulated?
When I came out of the mental institution, I started to write the first poem the day I got out.
Ah, so when you got out, you wrote.
And then I wrote in New York City about half of them that are in this book. And when I got to Maui, I did the other
Portion.
the other portion. And then I decided to put a story in between the poems. So that the story and then poems coinciding with each chapter.
Right.
And then I had the pin, the Heartlight pin, which I also put into the book. The opening of God is in my heart.
So when you came through your process, your years of institutionalism, what was the door opener? What opened that door that said,
Put me in, it took me out.
I think that I think that took you out. What put you in is what all of us face, struggle day to day, I'm sure, of challenges that were too much, and someone thought they'd help you, and so they put you in. Right? You don't put yourself in, do you?
No, I didn't put myself in.
Right. So
They kept putting me in.
they kept putting you in.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I didn't want
when
to
you
go.
got
I
out, that's the interesting
When
proof.
I got out. When I got out, Jason, this is the first poem I wrote. Might take a moment. We have a moment?
We have all the time we want. You remember those times like they were yesterday, or out of your mind, mostly?
I feel like it was sometimes ages ago and sometimes just yesterday.
Do you have any aspirations, or because you live life moment to moment, aspirations are just breath to breath, right?
Oh, I felt like desires of writing another book. And then I just read two unbelievable books about two people awakening. And I felt after I read these two books that I didn't have to write another book for myself because it was already said. And not that I have to, could write it differently. The way these books were expressed was everything that I felt. So it was like something dropped.
I see.
Knowing I don't have to do anything. I think the problem in our lifetime is that we all think we have to do something. And if there's nothing to do, it's very relaxing. The burden is off.
How would our society function? It wouldn't.
I don't really know, but
Yeah, but it's a different experience of living than is
the
currently
pressures that
lived.
are put on us to do something, be something, study, practice, is a definite, it's a hindrance. It doesn't let us be relaxed. So not having to do something takes the weight off. It becomes a very relaxing feeling. For me, anyway, that's been my.
So now that you don't have to write another book, you're more relaxed.
Yeah, because there's nothing really to say. It's already said in these two books.
May I read another one?
Sure.
Cosmic choosing. Christian choosing. Cosmic and Christian. Christian and Jewish. Choosing, nevertheless. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Living life that's fun. Living through your son. Giving him the toys. Living the joys. What more can a dad want than being with his son, sharing his being? It's quite a good experience, us suddenly appreciating different aspects of your life. The simple things in life that have so much richness that hard to explain. I know you explain it. So few words. You know, I wonder how many people appreciate
This
poetry.
is one of my favorite.
Stripped Naked. Do you want to read it?
No.
Yeah. You don't want to read it. I'll read it then.
You can read it.
Oh, okay. You know, it is funny. We've had a few poets on our show. Now, who would think that we were actually Poets Corner? But we've had a great lady named Elcita Sterling, who's 90 years old, who decided she wanted to start writing. You'll like her. And then we had her daughter. So we do family things and poetry. Stripped Naked, huh?
I was in Fire Island and I put some poems in the newspaper. So they called me the Fire Island Legend.
The Fire Island Legend?
And I always wanted to be a legend.
In Fire Island, that could be a challenge. Okay. Do you know where Fire Island is? Do you think they know where Fire Island is?
Probably not. It's an island off Long Island. It's a half-hour ferry ride, and it's very beautiful.
And once you get there, you're in bicycles and things, right?
Bicycle, no cars.
No car, so it's a very special place.
Right.
Stripped Naked. Opening up my eyes for the first time in 2 years. Where am I? Pouting Beth Israel Hospital, they say. Putting on my clothes. That's all I have. Shirt, pants, socks, and sneakers. Let me out, I shout. I don't belong here. I pout and shout, trying to break out. Without a home to go to, they take my only possessions, all my clothes. I didn't have any ID. Shiny coins or crumpled bills, toothbrush, comb, or razor blade. Stripped naked to the core. The only thing I know, I am Harvey Sharan Levine, with a mind to think, eyes to see, a nose to breathe, and a heart to feel. That's powerful.
Just words.
Not just words, Warren. I guess I do my drama thing. That's a powerful.
I like that one. You know, when I started to write some of these poems, when I wrote them, and then I looked at what I had written, I didn't know how they were written. It was like an energy.
Oh, yeah?
Because I never wrote anything in my whole life. I never went to high school. So I never did a book report or term paper, you know, so I never wrote. And this was the first time I had ever written anything.
What were you doing when you were, quote, before your experience in the institutions? You were in the
Garment Center.
in the Garment Center in New York. Wow. Is this Maui sort of like the Garment Center of Hawaii?
Not quite.
The no Garment
You know,
Center.
people in New York City in the Garment Center, they don't look at you. They walk with their heads down.
They walk with
like
their heads because they're
bulls.
looking at your pants.
Like
They always are
lions.
looking at your pants.
The lions are roaring.
That was an experience. You know, Los Angeles has its own garment center, which isn't quite as intense. Were you manufacturing, or were you?
My last business was sales repping,
Uh-huh.
which was a very easy business because all we had to do was sell the manufacturer's product to the retailer.
Right.
And we were in between, you know, so we had not as much responsibility as far as buying the piece goods, keeping the stock and inventory and payables. It was kind of like a small, very easy business.
Right. There was no inventory.
No inventory, and instead of working on the usual 6 or 7%, we used to work on 18 or 19%.
18 or 19 is better than 6 or 7.
You know what I mean? So we had to do less volume, and then I started to work. The last 7, 8 years of being in business, I started to work about 10 or 12 hours a week. I wasn't working on Friday. I started not to work on Monday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I would come in to work, have lunch with the buyers, and go home. So I didn't work in December. I never worked in July.
So you got to a
I took
point
long
where,
weekends and big weekends and weeks.
so things were so successful, you decided to stay home.
Things got so successful that I couldn't do it anymore. You know, the money was coming in,
So
but the
much
words
money.
couldn't come out. I don't know if you could understand that. I just didn't ever want to sell another children's wear garment in my
I
life.
understand. You knew Jerry Ackerman probably, from Grants, WT Grants.
They
I
went
bet
out of
you-
business.
Oh, I know. Well,
They had a.
he's
couple-
passed on. He was a nice man. My father was at WT Grants, and I remember the
Your father
children's
worked
wear
for-
children's wear buyer, friend of the family, was Jerry Ackerman.
Uh-huh.
His two kids are actually at Warner Brothers and Disney right now. So you were there selling him children's wear.
No, I never sold WT Grant children's wear.
You didn't?
I would have liked to.
Oh. Well, you should have known Jerry. He was a good guy.
I should have known you. You would have introduced me to
I
Jerry.
would have introduced you. See this continuity in our talk.
Can we get Ursula into this?
No, I don't.
She's
Hell
not
yeah.
a foreigner.
It's like,
She's
I
a
say,
legal.
they've recognized,
She's
they've
legal.
certified you. They didn't certify me. So, shall I read another one? This is a good conversation. This is not the common Maui television, is
No,
it?
this is impromptu.
Is that what this is? Impromptu?
It's also haiku.
It's haiku.
You know,
Oh,
does
it is
mean-
haiku.
You know, haiku is
Haiku.
the Japanese masters. Look at
What
that.
about your pen?
Your pen.
That's my pen.
Yeah, we should bring the pen in.
I think, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
maybe giving me quite a substantial amount of money
Because
to
they
do
use
the,
the pen?
to do the hot light pin.
The hot light pin is so beautiful. Let me bring it in, may I?
Sure.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. I love that. Isn't that fun? Talking to the camera. Hello.
Schwartz?
This is the original pin. This is the.
Let me see it closely, if you'd be so kind. Put it down near the box. I'll come in and focus.
This is fire-baked cloisonne,
Uh-huh,
24-karat gold filled,
right.
and this is the packaging.
I see. What is it?
It's a hot pin
Uh-huh.
that opens up in 7 phases to God. And how that's done is, we now take the gift box, right? And we take the nice suede box that it comes in, and we have this card. Can you see that?
Well, let me see if I can focus here.
Because in 7 phases you will see the pin opening up.
I think we got it as clear as, I'm pretty close, so maybe that's the
Okay.
challenge. Okay. The pin opens up.
Right, visually.
Uh-huh.
And in 7 phases it opens up to God. I have it
God
named-
is in my heart?
Yeah, hot
My
light.
jacket, I should put my jacket on just to look at it,
Oh, yeah.
like when it's actually in use. This one's been in use for like, what, 2 years, yeah?
See, there are 3 pins. Ursula has the pin in a shaded mauve red.
Uh-huh.
This is an all red.
Right.
You see this?
Yeah.
And then this is a little larger pin. So whatever the customer prefers, they could have. I'm partial to the first one. Ursula likes that
I like
color.
that one.
And some people like the little larger heart.
This one is real red.
Uh-huh.
This is more pinky.
And then the saying that I had put into the card is, love,
Too close, I can't see.
love is thought in the mind.
Uh-huh.
Love comes from the heart. Love is the burning fire of silence. So you know what my friend, when I wrote this particular saying, you know what he put? I put it on the refrigerator. You know what he wrote on the saying? So why don't you shut up?
Back down, bend down. What a loving friend. You have good friends.
And he's a very kind man.
Of course. Anyway,
He's from Vietnam. And
thank you for sharing that with us.
okay.
3, 2, 1. You know, you showed me that heart pin. The first thing in the book is the heart pin, huh? In 1980, now I'm reading like an Englishman. The heart pin. Why is that number 1? Because it's been in your mind since then, huh? Wow. In 1983, I was wandering the neighborhoods of Great Neck, New York, where I lived, and I came across a storefront office. I was curious, wondering what kind of business it was. I went inside. Immediately upon entering, I came upon a former employer I had not seen in 18 years. We spoke about old times for a while. Then he told me he was selling pins to schools, colleges, and universities throughout the country. The next day, he called me to ask if I'd like to meet the owner of his company, a man named Howard Rose. Howard showed me the pin you see attached to and reproduced in this book. Same pin. He showed it to you?
Well, the reason the book is in 7 chapters is each chapter opens up another phase of the book, of the pen. See?
Oh, I see.
And then
So
it's
each
like the
phase-
card, like the card. See? Each phase opens up.
So this book is really like the handbook to the pen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. And
See, that's
exactly.
important to
See,
understand.
and here's the 6th phase, and the reason the book is in 7 chapters, it opens up
Fully.
fully.
Ecstasy. Freedom. So do they have titles for each one?
Yeah. So anyway, this is about the pen. If you want, I thought it was kind of a nice message
Okay.
to give out.
So you met Howard, and he had the pin, the original pin. Howard came up with the idea for this pin and designed it himself. It's a hard-fired cloisonné pin, which instantly impressed me. Everything about it was remarkable. Its size, shape, color, texture, and design. You knew a lot about pins?
No.
Okay. Howard asked me my advice about marketing this extraordinary pin. Howard, you're in the pin business. My sales and merchandising experience was in the garment industry, I said. See, you were hip like me, you knew. This was a new field for me. Give me some time to think about it, I told him. Before long, we started Heartlight Incorporated, choosing as our company saying, God is in my heart. We had visions of sending this message across all continents by marketing the pin worldwide. We initially made 200 pins and distributed them among family and friends. Almost everyone enjoyed wearing the pin or else put it away in some special place. There's more. A few months later, I became ill and the company was disbanded. After spending 7.5 years in institutions, I set about on this challenging task of healing myself, both physically and mentally. I began writing poetry. I felt better each day. After traveling the country for several months, I decided to move to Maui. You've been here all this time. And there found a warm and nurturing environment in which to continue my healing process. One day at Maui's main airport, it is the main airport, okay, I encountered a friend I had not seen in 8 years. The first thing he said was that he still had and wears the pin I had given him years earlier. The next morning I awoke with the idea that I would publish my poetry, chronicling my journey from insanity to sanity and beyond, and renew my vision of distributing the pin worldwide, spreading the message of God is in my heart, to all people in all lands. I managed the pin. I imagined the pin attached. I imagined the pin attached to the front of my book of poetry. I thought it would be wonderful to see someone wearing the pin in another town or country and give that person a smile or a hug. I hope you enjoy reading my poetry and wearing this pin as much as I've enjoyed bringing them to you. Half of the profits from the sale of this book will go toward helping the less fortunate people of the world. They need our support and love. God is in our hearts. With love, Sharan. You should have been reading that.
No,
Good
you
job.
did good.
Very good. So let me see the pin again, man.
This is one of the original 100.
You know what's interesting about this?
Hey, it has a wonderful feel. Whoever.
It's nice. It's a little heart, and there's a little symbol in the middle, and this opens up to say
Visually.
God.
Yeah.
You know, I never knew till right now that the heart light pin was the thing that ties together the book and ties together everything.
Right. Most people miss it.
Well, most people, like anything, they need to see it and understand that fact.
Could
What
you
I-
imagine for Valentine's Day? Oh.
But I don't.
And
Do you realize you're still the garment center guy? You can take the country out of
you
sale.
can't take the garment
but you
center
can't
out of
the
the
guy.
garment
He's
center
still
guy.
the garment center game guy.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You know, remember that earlier where he said, I never want to sell again.
Right.
I never have it. And now, here he is, right back. Get this little box.
I want to
Right.
share this story.
Okay.
I'm working with a buyer and showing him my product,
Right.
and he interrupts me, and he talks about fishing for about 45 minutes. And I don't say a word.
Uh-huh.
I just nod and listening and listening. And after the conversation, he says to me, you know a lot about fishing. I said, thank you very much. With that, he gave me a very big order.
So you
I
learned.
knew
Swallow hard and
at that
listen.
time, it doesn't matter what you say, it's what you listen to. Listening is more important than speaking when you're a salesman. A good listener is better than a good speaker.
What about a TV guy? Should I be a better listener? Yeah.
Whatever fits, whatever
Have I-
works for you.
Have I
But
listened?
listening is more important than talking. Because the man said to me, you know a lot about fish. I didn't know anything about fishing.
So you base your
I
whole
never
life
went
based on
fi-
what this guy told you?
I never fished.
Well, there was one guy who fished. This Jesus guy. This is didn't he fish? They said
Yeah, he was a fisherman.
he was a fisherman.
Son of a carpenter.
But he hung out with the fisherman guys. He liked hanging out.
He liked, he hung out with fishermen.
Yeah.
Hung out with fishermen.
Yeah.
If you hang out with fish, you are a fish. You know what they say? If you hang around with garbage, you are garbage.
Who says that?
I said it.
Oh, remember who said it. Anyway, the truth is, I've had a terrific time here with you.
You tell
Sharan.
this to everybody, I guess.
Sharan Levine, if you see this book in bookstores,
Don't
grab it. Because it's the only copy there. And it's a mistake. Grab it while you can.
You know what I will do?
And if you see one of these pins,
I will buy this book back from anybody. That's in
oh,
good
he'll buy
condition.
it back. How much?
$5.
$5.
And hurry.
I'm gonna go all the garage sales now and see if I can run
Do you know
out
I
one.
found this in a garage sale once?
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
Of course.
Of course. How much was it?
$1.
$1.
I got a discount.
$1. See, if you go to the right garage sales. Anyway, I know it's really a treasure.
Read Dear
But this is
Beloveds.
Chip's
I
book.
don't know
Okay.
why. But just
Okay.
read Dear Beloveds. You might like it as
We're
much
gonna.
as I
Are we
do.
gonna close on this?
Maybe.
We might close on this because we have. Okay. Dear Beloveds, you'll find this on page 29. That's a good page.
Right.
Please share your golden eggs, pink grapefruit juice, brown bread, blueberries, black beans, white rice, yellow bananas, red apples, green lettuce, orange melon, lemonade, and after you do all this for me, I promise you I will never go hungry.
Good.
A true classic. Why is it called Dear Beloveds?
I don't know.
Just because. I love these. Now here's a short one. Leaving you. You felt bad because I left you. Think of how I felt leaving you.
Nothing special.
No, but very special.
Very special.
That was section 4. Why? Now, see, did you group these in a reason? No. Some days are great, damn great, in fact. Other days, hell and more hell. What happened? Where's the magic that money was supposed to buy? Hell, where's the money? Sure, I never much liked playing by the rules. But hey, who changed the rules when I was in the other room tooting a line or sleeping it off or feeling like my streak of luck would never end and I would own the track or casino before the day was over? I must have got off track somewhere along the line.
That's funny.
It is funny. You're going to really appreciate this book. Like I say, if you see this book, buy it. Aloha. We're here with Sharan Levine on Dreammakers. Mama Presents. This has been a great pleasure. Sharan, thank you.
Thank you.
May we do it again.
Sure.
Aloha.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. 'Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahanapali styling, Hana styling, Wai'ehu styling, Bahia styling, Keanai styling, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
There is a monster in our midst. It has already destroyed more than 70% of all native plants in Tahiti. The monster is called Myconia, and it is here on Maui, the Big Island, Oahu, and Kauai.
Eliminate this thing out of our forest. Get rid of it before it gets rid of us.
Just take away the man out of this plant.
Only you can stop the Myconia monster. Call 1-888-MYCONIA now.
Child care providers